Joe Biden is the president of the United States, and yesterday he's out there trying to still browbeat people into getting vaccines. He's trying to tell people that you need the booster and you need the vaccine, even though everybody who's boosted and vaccinated is still getting COVID. This is a guy who said, I'm going to be a president for all Americans, whether you voted for me or not. Well, that turned out to be a lie. He's basically going to be a president to all Americans that voted for him and are vaccinated and also boosted. Because if you're not vaccinated and boosted, you're a waste of life and you're taking up valuable hospital real estate. And I can't believe that this far into the pandemic, when we have people who are vaccinated and boosted and still getting sick from COVID and in some cases dying from it, that he's still calling out the unvaccinated and saying, get out of my hospitals.
Unvaccinated are taking up hospital beds and crowding emergency rooms and intensive care units. That's displacing other people who need access to those hospitals.
So do those people. Anyone who's sick has the right to go to a hospital and get treatment. If you have the flu, you get to go to the hospital. No one asks you if you've been vaccinated or not. If you get shingles, you can go to the hospital and expect treatment. No one's going to say, wait a minute, did you not get your shingles vaccine? Get the hell out of here, you itchy old coot. That doesn't happen, not in America, not now at least. But when Joe Biden's in control, he doesn't, half the time, he says this stuff. I think if he really knew what he was saying, he wouldn't say half of it. In fact, he'd probably also know what year it is.
There's a lot of reason to be hopeful in 2020.
No correction from him. He didn't stumble over it and say, 2022. No, he legitimately believes it's 2020. And everyone sitting around him on his little fake Oval Office stage, they didn't think to correct him at all. And, you know, it reminds me of one of my favorite poems. It reminds me of one of my favorite poems called The Man Who Was 2 Years Behind. Joe Biden says there's a lot of reason to be hopeful in 2020. He said that on the fourth day of 2022. When he makes gaffes like that, I can only imagine his staff hasn't the faintest clue what to do. His mental capacity continues its steady and rapid decline. Not only does he lose track of his thoughts, but he also loses track of time. The media doesn't make too much of a fuss that the president is 2 years behind the rest of us. But it seems to me there's a high probability Joe Biden's dementia is definitively adverse and getting worse. I don't know if he'll be able to execute his office much longer. This country needs a leader who is mentally stronger. But Joe Biden wants to reassure me and you he definitely plans to run for president again in 2022.